Welcome to Impactech Studio Podcasts. I'm Arjun, and today we are with Garima Surana, founder of the UK based Femtech startup Rollercoaster Labs. She's pioneering science backed nutrition to transform how women experience their hormonal cycles. We'll explore her mission to break taboos, build a supportive community, and empower female wellness. Let's dive in.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Garima. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Very, very good. So, welcome to the Impact Tech Studio podcast. So, I'll give you an introduction. So, we basically wanted to give some spotlight to the startups I am promoting. I'm basically getting them introduced into the ecosystems. So,
Nice.
this is our first approach to become that support for all the startups that we generally get into the channel value build up over the period of time. So, I thought from the impact side, your startup also stands and it actually shows that courage as well as the product itself is something that actually builds for something that has not been taken care of. It is not only a UK problem. It is, for me, it's a universal problem. So you're starting from here, but the story should stay with you for a long period of time so that it grows with you.
Mhm.
So welcome, Garima. Please give us an introduction about what your startup is about, what has been your journey, and where are you now. So give us an understanding.
Thank you so much, first of all, for having me. I know we've been coordinating for the longest time to make this
Yes,
happen. So I'm
it's been
finally
fun.
glad, yeah, that we could do this together. And I think you have unintentionally and unknowingly been so fundamental and instrumental in my journey.
God bless.
Because you literally was, I mean, you connected me to people who have those relationships have then forged into me being part of the JP Morgan accelerator, and then now we're in the top nine.
Right.
Fighting for our top three spot next week. So it's been really interesting journey.
Thank
About
you.
roller coaster. So I've been building roller coaster for over a year. It's not an
Right.
amusement park. That's what usually men ask me. Is it an amusement park? But I think the idea stemmed or the genesis of roller coaster started because of my personal health crisis.
Right.
2 years ago, unfortunately, I was diagnosed with brain tumor, and recovery wasn't just physical, emotional, or mental, it was also hormonal. And
Right.
I have seen my other girlfriends go through this, but I've never personally been a victim of, just unexplained weight gain. And I started getting facial hair growth, hair on all the wrong places. I
Right.
put on 15 kgs of weight, had debilitating cycles. My cramps were awful. I mean, if I'm on my period all the 3 days, I'm supposed to pop a pill for survival. So it was really something which was I couldn't find answers anywhere. And when I went to
Right.
the GP here, he said, change your diet. And at first, obviously, I felt gaslit because I thought, how could he dismiss all of my symptoms that I'm saying? And
Right.
just for your audience, there are over 150 plus symptoms of PMS, which is premenstrual
Right.
syndrome. And it's a
Right.
shame that there is more research on men baldness than on endometriosis. So
Right.
it's a really, staggering stat. But
Mhm.
yeah, coming back to roller coaster. So when he said that the food that you eat impacts your hormones and nutrition has a direct impact on how you metabolize, how you sleep, how your skin behaves, how your mood and energy is, because men have a 24-hour hormonal cycle. It
Right.
resets every day and it's a stable energy. And if you actually look at women's hormonal cycle, it's a 28-day cycle, which is why it is like a roller coaster that it fluctuates
Right.
the month.
Right.
And I'm a cereal snacker. I want to eat all the time because of the medication that I'm on. It induces hunger. And that's why I put two plus two together. And I thought that can I actually tackle the problem via making delicious snacks, which is honestly a product of my dreams. Like, can it be healthy, but can it also deliver nutritious value at the same time? And one thing led to the other. We've been R&D for over a year. We've iterated on 10 plus recipes. It's essentially a protein bar, but formulated by women's health experts for the specific phases of our cycle. Because the problem at hand was most healthy snacks are geared around performance, muscle, and macros. very gym bros, like made for the gym bros, but completely
Right.
disconnected from women's
Right.
bodies and how our rhythms function.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So give me an understanding of your product. So what does your product do? What is the
Yeah.
gift that you give to the women? Right. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so we've had over 100 plus customer discovery calls,
Right.
and roller coaster has been this common denominator in all of these conversations where women have equated their emotional roller coaster, hormonal roller coaster, mood swings. And what we want to give them is we don't want to fix them because we're not broken.
Right.
We want to tackle it in a way where we can feed real women real food. So the
Right.
bar essentially is a protein bar. It's hands down the UK's cleanest protein bar. Our philosophy is ingredients you can pronounce. So if you can't pronounce it, we don't have it. Um,
Right.
it still packs 15 grams of protein, 12 to 15. I say 12 to 15 because our lab tests are still done and I'm rather in an early stage right now. But we're hoping to have a protein quotient of 15 grams.
Okay.
And as I said, it is specifically formulated to the phases of women's menstrual cycle. So
Mm.
beyond just the period, there is the follicular, which is the first half of our cycle, and then there's a luteal, which is the second half of our cycle. And
Mm.
each month, our body prepares to ovulate, release that egg. And basically, what the bar is boosted with is vitamin B6 for hormone support,
Right.
adaptogens like maca for energy, strength, stamina, libido. And then we've got vitamin B12,
Right.
vitamin C. It's got a very strong blend of seeds. So, pumpkin
Right.
and flax for the follicular. It's based on a protocol called seed cycling, which essentially means eating different snacks at different times of the month. Um,
Right.
yeah, that's essentially what we do. It's a protein bar. It comes in two delicious flavors: matcha vanilla for
Right.
follicular, and dark chocolate sea salt for luteal.
Amazing. So what is the stage of your startup now? At what stage are you?
So it is rather funny that we are in a bit of a situation where we already have 500 plus women on our wait list, where we've had green light from major retailers in London, rather in the
Right.
UK. So
Right.
Planet Organic, Selfridges,
Right.
Delicious Ideas, um, Whole Foods, and I've had all like positive meetings with co-op, etc. But essentially, where we are right now is we've had meetings where they've given a
Right.
green light,
Right.
but the product is still I think in development, recipe development, um,
Right.
because when you're trying to create something which is so healthy, you don't want to taste it like a cardboard. So
Yes. Yes.
it's rather challenging for us to get the recipe so that the bar is robust, doesn't crumble, and
Mm.
can be delicious at the same time, but also deliver. Um,
Right.
so we're hoping to launch before the end of the year. Anyone who's listening, this episode was recorded on the 17th of October. Hopefully
Right.
before the end of the year we can launch.
Right. Amazing. Amazing. So in the lab tests, so you're getting some lab tests done, right?
Yes.
And those are in the process and they're moving positively in the right direction.
Yeah, everything.
Great.
So once the samples are out, which is the final
Right.
recipe, because we
Right.
moved our manufacturing from India to the UK.
You have amazing.
Yeah, I think looking at the
Right.
larger political sentiment of where
Right.
the country is right now, I think it only makes
Right.
sense. The consumer has a certain affinity towards products which are made in the UK, and
Right.
it does, imply that perhaps it is of superior quality. So
Right.
while my P&L is has taken a hit, but definitely we just think for the longer run,
Yeah.
having those safety protocols in place where I can really sleep well at night, not thinking about, because when you're dealing with seeds, there's a lot of regulatory compliance in terms of mycotoxins,
Yes.
which can contaminate, and you really have to be very thoughtful and careful on what you're giving people to eat.
Right.
As you're aware, the standards in this country for food are extremely high. So,
Right.
yeah, that's where we are.
Amazing. Amazing. So Basically from the supply chain side. So when you said that you've moved to the UK for the manufacturing as well, so you've done some agreements with some players. You can always look at one referral I will also give you,
Mm.
which is an India-based referral, but they are very scaled up in India, and they can do. I think they will take 6 months of a gestation time to open a factory in the UK as well, and
Oh,
they do
really?
protein bars correctly currently.
Oh,
So that's based out of Delhi NCR. So I'll introduce you to one of them. So
yeah.
Priyanka
Both my
Goyal.
earlier manufacturers were actually based out of
Mhm.
Delhi.
Right.
It's almost like having a breakup with those guys now because I've been pretty much
So
like,
this is a lady I know personally, and she heads it with her husband. So I'll give you her referral. So that's Priyanka Goyal, and
mm,
she holds a company that does protein bars, and we introduced them to an Indian startup called Dalchini, which
okay.
is offshoot of Paytm. So one employee from Paytm opened the first most expanded vending machine startup in India. So she basically became that vending machine where her protein bars are now listed. So that's how the supply chain worked. So now I know her personally, so I'll get you introduced there as well. Right.
Amazing. As I said, you're
Right.
a lead gen magnet. Anybody who knows Arjun, I think, can vouch for it. Like, he is the absolute best
So apart from
connector.
that, we're now interviewing again. So you saw the energy that has picked up. So some of them I'm investing in, which I interviewed. So one guy is also into carbon credit rating. So basically measuring all your carbon footprint. So
Amazing.
if any day you are working towards sustainability, I'm getting him introduced into the UK ecosystem.
Oh, fabulous.
So yeah, it's
I
a
think
good
sustainability
place
is a
to be.
non-negotiable for us. Like, for any
Yeah, in
companies,
India
it should
also it's
be
growing up. So
at
it's
this
growing
stage.
up as
Yeah.
a it's in India also now sustainability is getting government's push that you need to move towards it. So you will see a lot of organization both countries as well. So that's what I am seeing when I'm talking to Raj Tandon as well. So he's also giving me some tidbits, and I'm also introducing him to some play people in India. So that's going good. So maybe you can become. So what we are actually doing with ImpactX is that we are making a community of you guys, right? So
Hmm.
everyone who's doing meaningful change is a part of this first 100 who are getting this membership to a group where you just can be yourself and just ask what you want to, and there will be a lot of action that you can use, right?
Yeah.
So we will be adding you to a group as well, right?
Yeah, I think like
Yeah,
someone can evangelize the ecosystem and bring the synergies together. It is you. So I'm
I
here
hope
for
so. I hope
it.
so. So I'm also a journey like you. So that's
Yeah.
good that people are appreciating. So that's a good water for my plant, right?
Yeah.
So so that's good. So yes. So uh, what is the accelerator, and what have you done with the accelerator? What are you doing now? What is your expectation? What are your roadmaps? Look at that now.
So many
Let's talk
questions.
about. So let's look at what steps are you in which are moving towards your funding cycle, and
Yeah.
then what are your roadmaps in your mind when you see such positive action happening? How does your soul react to it? Right. So yeah.
Oh, wonderful. So you asked me about the accelerator, you asked me about roadmap,
Yes,
and how does my soul feel? What an existential
that's correct.
question. Okay, so the accelerator is called JP Morgan Future Female Forward Pitch Perfect. It's got a long name.
Yeah.
But essentially, it is a cohort of handpicked 30 founders
Right.
who are across, it's category agnostic. So my peers work right from cybersecurity to creating from cybersecurity, quantum computing to creating recyclable soil. I think there's some pretty wild ideas.
Beautiful.
And then obviously what I do is roller coaster.
Right.
It essentially is a platform for us to work and liaise with JP Morgan associates who can then help us with their pro bono support in terms of financial modeling,
Right.
legal or compliance or regulatory support, whatever it is that your business is in need of. So it
Right.
allows founders to first go through the accelerator, which tells you a lot about how to pitch, uh, not just in the form of your deck, but your body language,
Right.
what makes
Right.
it for a winning pitch, etc.
Right.
And then obviously a winning deck. And
Right.
then it is when you get into the top nine and moving from there, the top three finalists, the winners, will be eligible for a 5,000 grant by JP Morgan, along with pro
Mm.
bono support. But I think
Right.
over and above
Right.
all of this, the kind of exposure and the speed pitching sessions that you have with them just makes pitch a part of your muscle memory, and you really know how
Right.
to like nail it in 60 seconds
Right.
as an elevator pitch and both like as a proper 5-minute pitch. So
Right.
that's about JP. I never thought I would
Right.
be able to like ever walk into that building, but it's a
Right.
good one.
Right.
In terms of the roadmap, so we really want Rollercoaster to be a company that is scientifically backed and has that academic rigor behind it. So one of
Right.
our board advisors is actually helping us orchestrate an observational study in association with University of Greenwich and
Right.
hopefully NHS, which
Right.
basically means that we can prove the efficacy of the bars because it's a
Mm.
clinical grade formulation. It is so basically what that means is you do not need any other supplement for your hormonal balance per se.
Right.
The snack will deliver everything that you need for that time of the month. Um,
Right.
so we really want to be a company that is rooted in science. All our ingredients are thoughtfully chosen only because
Right.
they have been independently studied in RCTs and peer-reviewed journals
Right.
about their efficacy. So that is a very
Amazing.
exciting, timeline for us in terms of really, and it's going to be my first study. So women are going
Right.
to be in a cycle of like in a period of 3 cycles, eating the bar. We measure the pre and the post, and I think that would give us some robust data.
Right.
Um,
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And that's December that you are able to say that my launch could happen in December. So we are wishing for you. So we are on your side. We are wishing for you. And what is your cash situation currently? So what kind of to reach December? What is? Are you okay? Are you looking for some grants more than what you are getting right now? Are you looking for something to reach the December, or is it okay?
We're definitely looking for smart grants because even to fund this observational study, we would need to fill in the application and
Right.
apply for the smart grant. So that is from the
Right.
government, obviously, as part of Innovate
Right.
UK.
Right.
But other than that, I'm bootstrapping the business. I think once
Right.
we get our first early traction, is then we will actively start fundraising.
Right.
And I think this is a business that needs the kind of scale which we have seen other bar companies in the West and even in the UK. Like
Right.
Grenade had a 200 million exit to Mondelez, and um, uh,
Mm.
RX Bar had a 600 million exit to Kellogg's in a matter of 5 years. So I
Right.
think this is a business that is indeed VC scalable, and it needs that
Right.
kind of money. Uh, so that, and also because I think more than just the awareness on the product, there needs to be a lot of groundwork done
Right.
around awareness of the menstrual cycle. Like, for example, it took
Right.
me 30 years to understand that I have a follicular and I have a luteal in my own cycle. We're never taught
Right.
these things in school. So,
Right.
the larger fight for us is to make the next generation of women body literate, and
Mm.
they do not grow up in oblivion of what's happening in my body.
So I
Um,
was thinking to get this learning out into the market, right? So to get this thinking out into the market, the right approach. When I think like you, and I try to be that guy who's Garima, and he's looking at his roller coaster startup and thinking of what is the easiest approach to get into this training part, right? Is maybe partnering with clinics and giving their taking a television inside their clinic and using it for your courses that you run for basic understanding. When it is idle time, it is training time for women in
hmm.
places where they are, right? So that is one thing that came to mind as an ideation
That's a
moment.
wonderful idea, definitely. I think if we could templatize a course which is
Mm.
not an overwhelming biology lesson,
Right.
but
Right.
how do you navigate your day to day and you can optimize for your cycle and work in sync with your body's rhythm. I think if that
Right.
could be in a bite-sized, whether it's a course, whether it's an
Mm.
Instagram series, whether it's a YouTube series,
Right.
whether it's a podcast of its own, we don't know what form factor, but
Correct.
definitely developing an IP around this whole awareness piece and then owning
Right.
that piece would be
Right.
something yeah, that can do the groundwork for us.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there is a big opportunity in the influencer circle as well, the
Absolutely.
content creator circle as well. A lot of it is there right now happening. So yeah, so you didn't talk about how
My
this
soul
startup,
feels.
yes, how your soul feels.
Well, was that
Why
what you
not?
were going to ask, or did you
So
have
in
a
this
different
moment,
question?
so what happens is you're into the cycle of not only the cycle of roller coaster that roller coaster solves, but you're in a cycle of daily ups and downs, right? For you.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of ups and a lot of downs on a daily basis. So give me an understanding. How do you feel? What's going on?
So if anyone knows me or knows my journey, and especially when I said that I had, my brain tumor thing, which was 2 years ago.
Yes.
So the last 2 years
Yes.
for
Yes.
me was so humbling, but
Right.
also was such a shit show.
Right.
Um, in all honesty, I think when your audience will listen to this podcast, or when anyone listens to, mostly these inspiring podcasts by founders and entrepreneurs, they just think, yeah, what I was trying to say is that for anyone who feels that, oh, this is so inspiring, but like behind and when you peel the onion layers, it's honestly not so inspiring because I've had
Right.
the worst days in the last 2 years possible, and life has been honestly so humbling. But
Right.
I wake up every day because I want to work on roller coaster, and that gives me
Right.
immense amount of fulfillment and happiness. And
Right.
I just think that, without sounding corny or arrogant, I think my story needs to be told. I think
It
my
needs to.
product needs to be in
Yeah.
every woman's hand, in every woman's
Yeah.
bag,
Yeah.
because we definitely, like, we say we need, as women, we always, when we're in other communities, we always discuss we must take space unapologetically everywhere. But
Right.
I think it's now time that we start taking space at the aisles as well, because there's not a single product that exists or is curated
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
about us when
Yeah.
we practically are the 50% of the population, but we also raise the other 50% of the population. So there's a lot of burden for us to be, um,
Yeah.
and especially with how erratic and fluctuating our cycles are, if there's
Right.
anything that can make it stable, that's what we need, such that the overall 100% of the population thrives. So I just don't look it as one fraction, but it's rather, the overall. Yeah, my soul feels incredibly fulfilled and happy that I'm able to do this.
Amazing.
This time I'm ready for failure. I think as a second time entrepreneur, I'm waiting to fail so that I can
So
iterate.
when you're ready for the low side, you're always ready for the high side. So you always get the high side. So always expect that. I believe. I also believe in the same thing. So you should
Yeah.
expect to fail, but you should keep on trying to fail. But God
Yeah.
will always tell you this is the way to move.
Yeah. I mean, what I want
Yeah.
to imply is that I'm not
Yeah.
afraid of failure anymore.
Yes, that's good.
And I'm not even ashamed of failure anymore, because I think
Right.
the idea where you stigmatize your failure and you let your identity, especially your corporate career identity, to be everything. Like, we so thoughtfully curate our identity on LinkedIn, and when it
Right.
falls apart, for whatever reason, I think we just take it so personally, or at least I took it so personally. And
Right.
it's only human, which is also, after a lot of therapy bills, I've
Right.
understood. But
Right.
how do I detach myself from that,
Right.
while still being very focused, laser focused on my mission? So this time
Right.
I'm like, failure, come to me. I'm waiting for you. It only gives me the runway to
Yeah.
iterate faster.
Yes, please. Yes, please. And being a second time founder gives you that resilience as well to take failure as a friend and just talk to it and just have a conversation and change it. Right.
Yeah, because
So,
like I think also to say that with roller coaster, my first
yeah.
form factor is bars. Not to say
Yes.
that roller coaster is a bar company. My
Right.
audacious larger goal, which we've never discussed, is to be the PepsiCo
Right.
of women's health.
Right.
And that is something that is my North Star metric, and that is what I wake up every day for, and I push.
Right.
I
Right.
don't wake up to make a bar.
Right.
I wake up because I know that I want to create a house of brands or an ecosystem where we can. Cravings are only human. 90% women in the UK report cravings. And if
Hmm.
it's only human and normal and it's your body's response, then how can you answer it nutritiously is what I'm thinking. And
Right.
we want to do it in diverse ways. So think hydration in future, think savory snacks in future, but all for
Right.
us.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So, your startup for me is on the right roller coaster ride because this is the time where we are as a community and as a startup ecosystem are also expanding, and we are now showing what we are across the world as India. And your startup comes in that story as well. Apart from that, the story of inclusion and female and femtech is also right now showing its face, and the face is also being represented in many forums that I found by women, and women are talking about female everything that is female health, and there is a lot of movement happening in world forums where India is representing female health. So that's a good thing to be on that wave, and I think this is the right time for you. By December, if you are able to get into the market, I think there is an opportunity to build on the learnings that you do as a sole private limited firm that gets into the whole game, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. So wishes to you. I think this has been a good introduction, and what we will do is we'll add you to our ecosystem, and you will get to meet other people who are also in your ecosystem, traveling the world, getting represented everywhere. So, pleasure to have you, Garima. It was a pleasure having a small chat with you like this, getting your story out. And I hope other women in India as well as the UK get inspired by your story, and we end up becoming a group of women who are power pack women, and they are able to design what they want to design in the world. Right.
Yeah,
So,
there's, you
yeah,
know what, there's a 450-year research gap when it comes to women's health.
correct.
And it can, and only I cannot reverse it alone. So the fact
Right.
that you're putting me as part of your ecosystem, and we need more, evangelizing to be done, and we need
Right.
the strength of so many other founders who are doing what
Right.
I'm doing, in different ways, in their own ways. But I think
Right.
if you're all like, if we stick together, I think only one cannot reverse the damage done for so many years. So it's a systemic change that needs to be brought in, and for that to happen, we need the larger community, both as founders but also as consumers of those products. So I encourage to anyone who's listening, consciously try and buy female founded products.
Amazing.
There's a
Yes.
wonderful initiative, at least in the UK, which is called Buy Women Built. And I'm not here to like promote them. I'm not even a part of them because
Yeah, but every good thing should be shared. So yeah, that's good.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think like as a consumer, like you don't have to think that, hey, I am not a founder, so how can I make a change? But as a consumer, you are in such a unique power position where the products that you buy define the future of the founders, and define what the ecosystem is going to look like. So if you think, like, I think consumer is the ultimate, has the ultimate power. We can create all that we want to, but if there is no consumption, so as consumers, can you consciously buy female founded products? That would extremely be helpful for the entire community.
Right. Thanks for that message. And it was a pleasure having you, Garima. And I wish you wings. Right.
Oh, thank you. Let's
Yes.
let's all fly together. The
Yes, please.
sky is vast.
Yes, please. It is. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
always. Thank you so much, Arjun.
Yes.
What a
Thank you.
wonderful quick fire chat. Really
Yes.
appreciate you asking those questions and spreading the message.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Amazing.
That's a wrap for this episode. A huge thank you to Garima Surana for sharing her mission to blend science and community with Rollercoaster Labs. Her work is a powerful example of how thoughtful innovation can change the conversation around women's health. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, rate, and share the show. Until next time, keep building with purpose.